Our trip began by driving west from Bradley International Airport in Hartford, Connecticut. This stunning reservoir in Barkhamsted caught our eye, so we pulled over for a moment to admire the view. A bit further west, we came upon this covered bridge in West Cornwall, so of course we had to drive through it. Our first real destination was Marty's Café in Washington, Connecticut, aka the real Stars Hollow for any Gilmore Girls fans. The cafe was charming with great service and delicious sandwiches for lunch. We ordered coffee to go as well. Our Gilmore Girls tour continued with a stop at the Mayflower Inn just 5 minutes down the road. We took a moment to appreciate this really interesting art installation called Too Tired to Sleep. Back on the road, we headed north to New Milford. Here, we pretended we were Rory and Lorelai Gilmore chatting on the gazebo steps in Stars Hollow. We continued north and crossed into Massachusetts, where we stopped at the Thom UFO Monument Park. Yeah, I said UFOs. There's an official plaque and everything. And the creepy swirling water was definitely because of aliens. Our home for the night was the Red Lion Inn, located in Stockbridge, Massachusetts in the Berkshires. The inn was so quaint, with plenty of options for dining and refreshments after a long day of traveling. We got in kind of late, so we ended up just ordering pizza and watching movies in our room. This really cool antique elevator was functional, but was closed due to COVID precautions. While we were all pretty sure this place was haunted, the beds were firm and the water pressure was high, so we left well rested and in great spirits. We pulled over to watch the fog rolling across the mountains at Pontusic Lake. Continuing north through the Berkshires, we got off the main road and took the scenic bypass towards the summit of Mount Greylock. I mean, just look at these views. Mount Greylock is the highest peak in Massachusetts. At the top is a Veterans War Memorial, which was originally built in 1932 and restored in 2017. You're allowed to climb up the spiral staircase to the very top, so long as you don't mind tight spaces. Travelers can stay at the Boscombe Lodge, which also includes a restaurant and large stone fireplaces, and of course, the most scenic porta potties I have ever seen. The front desk person at the Red Lion Inn recommended we stop by the Apple Barn in Bennington, just 10 miles north of the state border into Vermont. We spent way too much money on cider donuts, every kind of maple butter you can imagine, kettle corn, and other treats. Such a fun stop, and super grateful for the recommendation. We drove 2.5 more hours north to the city of Burlington, just in time for lunch at Splash at the Boathouse, which is located directly on Lake Champlain. It was truly so lovely to just sit on the water and take in the views while we ate. I was in the mood for a simple cheeseburger with house kettle chips, while my friends ordered lobster rolls and fish and chips. We wandered through the city up to the Church Street Marketplace, an outdoor pedestrian mall with tons of shops, restaurants, and bars. We stopped by Church Street Tavern for a quick drink before heading back down to the lake to admire the views one more time. On the way to Stowe is the Ben & Jerry's factory in Waterbury, which was a really fun place to stop. Full disclosure, the line for the scoop shop was about an hour plus, so we skipped that and just strolled around outside. There is a really cute gift shop out there. The flavor graveyard was really cute to wander through, with little tombstones for discontinued flavors. We could have brought y'all some fresh Georgia peaches from ATL Ben & Jerry. Stowe is an adorable small town, and its location in north central Vermont made it the perfect home base for the rest of our adventure. We stayed at Talta Lodge, a brand new hotel that had just opened literally the week before we arrived. We joked that the hotel's minimalist vibe definitely gave it an IKEA aesthetic. The beds were super comfortable and the shower was piping hot with fantastic water pressure, my two favorite things. A cool feature was the porches with Adirondack chairs, which we took full advantage of for late night drinks and food. The whole point of this road trip was that we were celebrating a friend's birthday, so we had to go out for at least one nice dinner. Plate in downtown Stowe was exactly what we were looking for. We started with wine and apps, the chèvre soufflé and steak tartare, plus coconut red curry spaghetti squash, brine chicken, and fettuccine with scallops for our mains. Breakfast the next morning was at this fun little cafe across the street from Talta called Round Hearth, for obvious reasons. We ordered coffee and breakfast sandwiches to go, then hit the road heading east towards New Hampshire. In East Montpelier, we stopped by the Bragg farm to say hello to their animals and pick up some maple syrup and Cabot cheese. Crossing into New Hampshire, we headed straight for Cannon Mountain, where we had previously purchased tickets for the Aerial Tramway. We had a lot of fun at the top of the mountain. The scenery is stunning, and there is a short trail loop around the top, which takes you to an observation tower for even better views. Bennington the Moose approved of the Cannon Ale, which you can purchase in the small cafe near the tramway entrance. We were getting a little hangry after all this, so we stopped into Littleton, New Hampshire to find lunch. Jack and Finn's saved us with delicious grilled cheese and soup lunch combo options that hit the spot. I got a classic grilled cheese with a cup of curried butternut squash soup. Once fed, we hit the road and headed west back to Stowe. Back in Stowe, we headed straight for the Von Trapp Brewery and Beer Hall. Yes, those Von Trapps. The family has lived on the property since 1942 when they bought a 300-acre farm. We immediately joined the line for beer, pretzels, and cheese dip, and ordered Kolsch's and Vienna lagers to drink. Reservations are needed for table service, but other tables were available outside to enjoy your beer and pretzels. Benny got a little wild. We made a quick stop to check out the actual Von Trapp Lodge before heading back into Stowe proper. Our last stop was at Stowe Cider, which ended up being the perfect end to our trip. ordered the shandy, the high and dry, and a flight of 4 seasonal ciders, which we enjoyed while listening to the live band. This was such a great trip. I highly recommend. New England in the fall absolutely lives up to the hype.